Hi guys, Zane here. I wanted to come to you today and talk to you a little bit about fear. I've been hearing a lot about that on the group, Hypno-Shamanic Channeling. I've asked a question about what might be your hang-ups as a spiritual coach or seeker along your spiritual path, and I got a lot of responses, and a lot of those revolved around fear that people have. Now, fear comes in many different shapes and forms. It can manifest in many ways. It can be very debilitating. Fear keeps you from getting out of bed sometimes. Fear keeps us from being present with our family. Fear keeps us from showing up to our, son or daughter's play or soccer game. Anything that is calling to us from our social life, we are blocked from doing because of this fear. We still get up and do it. We still push through. And 9 times out of 10, we feel good doing so. But it's that initial fear that's trying to stop us from being who we truly deserve to be in our lives. And to the people who love us and to the people we love. We want to be there for these people. And if we can't be there for ourselves, then how are we going to be there for these people? So what we're looking at here is we're looking at a blockage, right? We're looking at an old belief that was developed some time long ago. We're looking at beliefs that are limiting. We're looking at beliefs that are so limiting that they're actually debilitating us physically. Now this is when it becomes a problem, right? What I want to look at today is I want you to see that the fear that you're truly gripping onto is something that is comfortable to you. It is a blanket. It is something that is keeping you set in your ways. It is something that to step outside of this fear is even more scary than remaining in the fear itself. Now this is truly twisted, right? What we want to start to look at is we want to start to call that fear out and recognize what it truly is, okay? Now I work under the model with myself and with my clients, and having done my inner processes and doing my inner work each and every day to work through whatever comes up in my life, I've come to realize a very important rule that says that fear and other emotions like it are just intensities rising within the body. If we're fearful about something, that's truly the body trying to convey a wisdom to us. So what's important to look at here is that if all of our emotions, before we've labeled them as good or bad, all of our emotions rising through us are parts of wisdom that the voice of our body is trying to convey to us desperately, then how do we attain that wisdom? How do we accept that wisdom? How do we sift through the static of that emotion to get there, right? How do we clear the rain clouds to see the fertile soil beneath? How do we receive those messages? This is how. Send love. Send love to that fear. Thank that fear for being there. Thank that fear for being there because it is reminding you are alive. It is reminding you of where you've been. It is a 2 million-year-old part of your brain that is reminding you of the threats in your reality to keep you alive, to keep you surviving. Send love to that fear. Thank it for being there. And that fear will begin to dissipate. Now, what's important here is that when we start to love that fear, when we choose to pause, reset, love that fear instead of embellish on it, instead of create it into a bigger fear, instead of give it power, what we're really doing is we're starting to send love to that fear, and we're starting to dismantle it and decode it and actually hear the wisdom beneath the fear, which is so cool. Now, once we hear the wisdom, what's going to happen is a couple of things. We're going to understand the fear all the way down to its core. Maybe why it's in our lives, maybe for how long it's been in our lives. We can start to see the roots of it. We can start to take on a new understanding of that fear. And a couple other things that happen is that fear gives us a way out, right? That fear, once the wisdom is released from that fear, it gives us a way to start to understand that fear when it comes up into the future. And what we can start to see here is what we're doing is we're rewiring our nervous system, we're rewiring our conscious mind to observe and adjust to emotion and fear better in the future, okay? Now this gets into like NLP and hypnosis and conscious mind rewiring synapses and neural pathways. Really cool stuff I work with clients on each and every day, stuff I've done on myself and have continued to do for years now, and has completely changed my life, right? I no longer live in fear because I've recognized that there's wisdom there, and I choose to love that fear each time it comes up. But more importantly here, what we're rewiring our brain to do is to look forward to fear. And I know that sounds funny, But what we want to try to do is we want to recognize that, yes, since there is wisdom beneath that fear, and trust me, there truly is, you'll be looking forward to those feelings of anxiety. You'll be looking forward to those feelings of fear because you'll know that there is a new learning coming down the pipe. There's a new learning coming your way. It's very exciting. It's like getting up that first day for school and knowing that you're going to be educated, knowing that you're going to a place where you're going to take on new understandings of the way the world works. Well, these are new understandings of the way you work, and they're delivered in through the vehicle of intense emotion. This is just the way the body speaks to us. So starting to recognize that emotion is really wisdom sort of cast in this static or this voice of the body. What we can truly do is send it love, start to decode it, hear the wisdom, and start to rewire our brain to actually look forward to feeling those emotions. Beautiful stuff here, okay? So I submit that you start to love your fear. I submit that you start to hear the emotion behind your fear, the wisdom behind your fear, and start to use it in your everyday life, okay?